الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. الحمد لله يهديكم ويصلح بالكم. So like we said, we talked about the conditions of fasting in regards to the second category, which is what they call mufattirat al-hissiyya. Those affairs that break fast, which are tangible, to the senses. They are tangible to the senses, from eating, drinking, and what is the meaning of eating and drinking, and what we talked about in regards to one intentionally making what they call semen come out by intent, by desire, which all these affairs we'll discuss in a minute, inshallah. Question to all the brothers: what is the ruling in regards to a person that invalidates his fast by just merely drinking? So if a person right now says, "Oh, I was drinking, but I felt like I was about to pass out," what would you say to him? Jayyid. So first thing we say, number one, when you give an answer, you always say what is the asl. The ruling is, let's just say now a new shahada came. He wanted to fast. Applying everything that we just mentioned and said in regards to him being jahil, in regards to him being jahil al-hukm al-shar'i, being ignorant of the actual ruling. New shahada just took shahada a couple of days ago. So now he comes and he says, I drunk maybe a couple of times today. First we would say, of course, did you know? No, I didn't. Okay, so number one, we know that eating and drinking while one is fasting, is not permissible, due to the ayat which is the Surah Al-Baqarah, the ayat number 183, 184. It's all in there. Also, likewise, the number two, if one feels thirst, of course, during the time while he's fasting, one is going to feel a little bit of what? A little bit of atash, a little bit of thirst, no doubt. So it's incumbent upon one to be patient with the fasting, take in consideration what everyone, the meaning of the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned said, "Man sama Ramadan iman wa ihtisaba." Whoever fasts the month of Ramadan out of iman and out of ihtisab. So now it's impermissible for one to drink while he's fasting, right, everyone? However, then this is when you now start to speak about when affairs go now to the point where it might lead to something very detrimental or something very dangerous, such as him passing out or something that is detrimental to his health or will affect his health. If you feel now you're about to kill you, or you're about to die or pass out, then here in this instance, of course, by all means, one would stop his fast, he would break it, drink, and then what? Make it up after the month of Ramadan. That's if it reaches this level, where he feels that he's about to pass out, or he feels that that something dangerous is about to happen to him. If this is the case, then what do we say? Break the fast. But we said that the asl is what? The origin is that one is supposed to what? Be patient with his fasting and have some type of toleration for some of the difficulties that come along with the fast. Right. Another question. If a person now smoking, just a regular cigarette, does it break one's fast? هل شرب الدخان يفطر الصائم؟ هل هو يعتبر من المفطرات الحسية؟ شرب الدخان. Does what they call smoking, is it considered from the المفطرات الحسية? Ahl ilm, they mention and say yes. Smoking is considered from those affairs that breaks the fast. Smoking, weed, whatever. You'll find that number one, even Shaykh Uthaymeen, he mentions it says, he says, إن شرب الدخان حرام عليك في رمضان في غير رمضان وفي الليل والنهار فاتق الله في نفسك وأقلع عن هذا الدخان طاعة الله طاعة لله واحفظ إيمانك وصحتك ومالك وأولادك ونشاطك مع أهلك حتى ينعم الله عليك بالصحة والعافية. He said, number one, we say in regards to smoking, first of all, smoking is haram upon a person in all cases, not just in the month of Ramadan, but outside the month of Ramadan. And during the day and during the night. So fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in yourself. As for people saying that, for example, oh, it's not considered food and drink. You'll even find, even amongst the people in the cities and the places or the Arab countries, they'll call it shurb al-dukhan. Shurb al-dukhan. What means in actuality that is what? It's a sharab. Due to the fact that it's called shurb al-dukhan, then in that instance it's considered something that will what? Break the fast. فهو من المفطرات الحسية التي تفطر الصائم. شرب الدخان. So, number one, we say that we're talking about, in regards to what we just speaking about, the second category, which is what, everyone? Those affairs that are hissi. المفطرات الحسية, we said, number one is eating, drinking, and that's what we're talking about, elaborating on now. In regards to what? In regards to drinking and eating. What is upon a person if they was to what? To eat or drink on purpose? A person is not facing hard or any type of hardship or difficulty while they're fasting. They just want to break it just because. No valid reason. What do we say about that person? For upon them is to make tawbah. عليهم وعليه التوبة لأنه ارتكب حرمة الصوم. ارتكب حرمة الصوم فهذا يعد من الكبائر. يعد من الكبائر. For verily the person now has transgressed the sacredness of fasting and is considered from the major sins. It's considered from the major sins, not the minor, the major. For a person that breaks his fast with no apparent reason or justifiable reason from Kitab and Sunnah, then it's considered from the major sins. And he will have to make repentance, and upon him is to what? Make up that day after the month of Ramadan. Another question. What about the ruling in regards to what they call ما حكم الحقن الشرجية التي يوضع في الدبر التي يحقن بها المريض وهو صائم. طيب. What is the correct position, or what is the ruling in regards to those type of shots, or a person that has some type of, not suppository, but they have what they call having a shot done in his rear end, in which a person will have injected in him, or a sick person will have one injected in him while he's fasting. Yes. طيب, what do we say about that, ya ma'ash al-ikhwa? Does it break the fast or does it not break the fast? What Amir said was correct. If it's in which a person who's consulted in this is the doctor. We'll ask the doctor whether or not this something, or what is being ejected in my rear end is considered from an affair which is of what, everyone? Food and drink. If it gives nutrients to the body, then what? Breaks the fast. If it doesn't give nutrients to the body, then what? Does not break the fast. So the doctor is the what? Is to be consulted in that. It says وعلل ذلك بأن هذا ليس أكلا ولا شربا ولا معنى الأكل والشرب والذي أرى أن ينظر إلى رأي الأطباء. So notice he said to look to the opinion of the what? Of the doctors, الأطباء. فإذا قالوا أن هذا كالأكل والشرب وجب إلحاقه به وصار مفطرا. So it says now of what? If it's just like eating and drinking and it gives nutrients to the body, then it's coupled or is joined with what, everyone? With those affairs that break the fast. If it doesn't give the body that of what gives food and drink, then we say that doesn't break the fast. Is it clear, Dawood? What about لبس يستعمل الصائم? What about a ruling in regards ما حكم استعمال التحاميل في نهار رمضان إذا كان الصائم مريضا. What is the ruling in regards to using what they call suppositories during the day of Ramadan if one is fasting, if the one who is fasting is sick? A suppository, something that's inserted inside one's backside or in his anus. What do we say? Same answer. So what would you give as an answer for this, everyone? Exactly. If it doesn't give nutrients to the body, then what? Jake. Mumtaz. Another question. I'm asking everyone. Ask you this, Dawood. What is the ruling in regards to what they call kuhul? ما حكم الكحل للصائم والقطرة في العين والأذن والأذن والأنف. What's the ruling in regards to kuhul? And of course they call it cool of the eyes and drops in the eyes and in the ears and in the nose. What's the ruling? What do we say? Ahsant. The eyes and the ears do not break the fast. الأذن والعين لا يفطران الصائم. لا يفطران الصائم. والقطرة في العين والأذن لا يفطران الصائم. لا يفطران الصائم. لا يفطران الصائم. But as for if it's dropped in the what? In the nose, then we know that أن الأنف منفذ إلى الجوف. ما يوضع في الأنف وداخل الأنف يوصل إلى الجوف فيفطر الصائم. For what's put in the nose is considered the passageway to the what? To the stomach. So it's considered what, everyone? It breaks the fast. The nose, not the ears, not the eyes. Right, last question. What about kuhul? What they call cool. The black, what people think is makeup, but it's not makeup. It is a remedy. It was used initially as a remedy for the eyes. It's used as a remedy for eyes. But then, of course, it progressed until women started using it as decoration for their husbands, not outside. For their husbands. It was used as a decoration for their husbands. But initially it's used as what? As a ilaj. As what? Dawa. طيب. So is it permissible or not? هل يجوز of كحل وهو صائم? Huh? Permissible. أحسن. جائز. جيد. طيب. We already talked about that. طيب. What about ما حكم القطرة والمرهم في العين? What is the ruling in regards to drops and cream in the eyes? The cream, المرهم, using some type of cream. What do you say, Dawood? Well, you just riding, piggybacking on what they're saying. طيب. We said مرهم. And also likewise القطرة لا يفطران الصائم. Does it break? It does not break the fast. طيب, what about مرهم and cream? Neosporin is put on a sore or wound. On your arm, on your leg, your toe. إذا كان هناك جرح على اليد وعلى الساق ونحو ذلك من مواضع الجسم. هل يجوز وضع المرهم على مثل هذه الجروح? Can you put it on these wounds? جائز or ليس جائز? Permissible? It's permissible. جائز. طيب. Another question. This is interesting. استعمال بخاخ ضيق النفس للصائم. هل يفطر? The usage of what they call the spray, which is used for a person that has asthma, for a person fasting. Does it break it or not? They call بخاخ ضيق النفس. The pump or what they call the spray that a person uses when he has asthma. The inhaler. أحسنت. Inhaler. Does it break the fast or not? هل يفطر ولا يفطر؟ هل يفطر؟ Does it break the fast? أحسنت. ممتاز. It doesn't break the fast. due to the fact that it's a light mist that goes inside the lungs. الرئتين ليس الجوف الرئتين goes to the lungs. If it goes to the lungs, لا يفطر. It doesn't break the fast. The asthma pump doesn't break the fast. Does not. Is it clear what I'm saying, everyone? The asthma pump does not break the fast. It says ولا يدخل منه إلى المعدة أجزاء لأنه شيء يتطاير ويتبخر ويزول ولا يصل منه جرم إلى المعدة حتى نقول إن هذا مما يوجب الفطر فيجوز لك تستعمله وأنت صائم ولا يبطل الصوم بذلك. To the end of it. Alhamdulillah, we just mentioned that. طيب. There's another question. بعض الناس مصاب بالربو ويحتاج لاستعمال البخاخة أثناء صيامه فما حكم ذا? We all just talked about that. Some people have been afflicted or tested with asthma and they need to use their pump or inhaler while they're fasting. What is the ruling? طيب, but listen, they said this person that has been affected by asthma breaks down to two types. They have a capsule and they have a mist or inhaler. Can one use both while he's fasting or just one? The capsules, capsulat, or bakhakh. Both of them permissible, or both of them break fast, or one of them break the fast. Ahsantu. The capsulat tufattir. The capsules break the fast. Tufattir as-sa'im. Al-capsulat, tanawul al-capsulat. Tufattir as-sa'im. Taking the capsules while one is fasting breaks it. If he takes capsules, and it goes down the system, he swallows it, goes in the stomach, خلاص. الآن صار الصيام باطل فاسد. Is it clear? Absolutely. Not only that. In regards, he says, stairway. Oh, you have to. No. You'll go inside. We'll go. In regards to eating and drinking, that's a little bit more explicit. Why I say that? Even in regards, this doesn't necessarily have to be something that is known to have nutrients to the body if one swallows it. For example, let's say a person intentionally swallows a toy. Ahl-Ilm says it breaks the fast. If he intentionally does it. Intentionally. If he swallows a piece of toy, absolutely. Absolutely. If he intentionally does it. But who intentionally will want to, I'm fasting, hey, give me that toy to eat. Now, if he intentionally does it. Eating and drinking is a little bit more what? It's a little bit more in depth. It's a little bit more, ablagh. It's a little bit more in depth. You understand? So a person is not supposed to eat or drink anything intentionally. Intentionally. عن قصد. As for عن غير قصد, فلا يفطر. If it's not intentional, then it does not. Let's just say someone, just for example, intentionally said, give me that battery to eat. Just على سبيل المثال. It's just example. So a person intentionally eats the battery, then what? I mean, we're talking about siyam, huh? Breaks the fast. Breaks the fast. You intentionally swallows it, breaks the fast. You only broke the fast, but you broke a lot of other things. You have to go to the hospital. You understand? So do not do something like that intentionally. Right, we're going to there's a question in regards to this, inshallah. There's a question. At any rate, capsules, don't get it mixed up, Amir, what was done by needles and what's done in eating. Eating and drinking is a little bit more in depth because that's just straightforward. When you put something in your mouth, swallow it, that's something that's known for eating and drinking. That's something known. When you eat and swallow something, that's clear as the day that your intent or what you're doing is what? You're intentionally putting something in your body, give nutrients to it. So it's a little bit more in depth. So even if a person, even you'll find that Ahl-Ilm say, let's just say that a person, he said, لو بلع وابتلع خرزة سبحة وخرزة beads. Like he tastes, let's just say he took a bead, swallowed it intentionally, breaks the fast. جيد؟ طيب. الحمد لله. What about ما بال الحقنة في العضل أو الوريد أو الإبر المغذية؟ هل تفسد الصوم المغذية؟ هل تفسد الصوم الإبر المغذية? Now this is easy. What about when one gets a shot in his muscle or his vein, or those needles that give nutrients to the body? It's easy. Does it now invalidate one's soul? جيد ممتاز. He says now إذا الصائم إذا احتقن بالإبر في وريده أو في عضلاته فإن صومه لا يفسد بذلك بشرط. يعني هذا ليس بأكل ولا شرب ولا ما بمعنى الأكل والشرب. He said the origin, of course we know, that getting a shot in the vein or in the muscle, if it doesn't give nutrients, if it does not give nutrients, then what? Does it break it? Does not. Does it break it? Of course. If it gives nutrients, does it what? Does it break it? Doesn't. Why? Because initially these are not parts that's known for giving nutrients. Generally, of course. It's not eating or drinking, or even the meaning of eating, of course, but nor is it the meaning of eating and drinking here, because it doesn't give nutrients. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He says, Allah says He has sent down a book clarifying everything for you. So everything that the people need, especially in their worship, which is tremendous, such as fast, for verily the shara' will clarify. It has not come upon the message of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at all any general love or general wording that indicates that what? That a person will break fast or his fast is broke by these affairs. So just to sum up and make what we just said, make it concise, if it gives what? Nutrients to the body, then what? It does break it. If it does not, then it what? Doesn't break it. جيد ممتاز. طيب. Alhamdulillah, we already talked about that. It'll be repetitive. Just be regurgitating the same thing over and over again. We already talked about that. طيب. What about a person now? Does it break the fast now to sniff in? هل يفطر الصائم إذا استنشق البخور. Does it break your fast if a person, if he does this with, everybody knows bukhur, right? What's bukhur? It's incense. It goes like this. Bukhur. Istanshaq. So break the fast? I sent him. If he does it intentionally, it breaks the fast. Now, it just made me sneeze. طيب. المفطرات التي تفطر الصائم لابد أن يكون عليها دليل من الكتاب والسنة إلى آخره. والبخور إذا وصل إلى باطن الجوف عن قصد بالاستنشاق فهو مفطر لمن كان يعلم أنه محرم وأنه يفطر الصائم. He says, we're talking about incense. Let's just say it's oil, such as oud, or what they call it, oud. Can you use that? You can use it. You can use oud. You can use oil, but you can't use bukhor. Bukhor is a little bit more thick. There's a jirm. It's a little bit more thick. And if you sniff it intentionally, like this, istinshaq. Istinshaq in the Arabic language means to take it. That's istinshaq. Istinshaq. It's not just merely sniffing. It's istinshaq. It's a little bit more in depth. You understand? So if a person does that, then what? Listen to what Ibn Uthaymeen mentions. He says, إِلَّا فِي الْأَصْلِ الصَّوْمُ صَحِيحٌ غَيْرُ بَاطِلٍ وَالْمُفَطِّرَاتُ مَعْرُوفَةٌ فِي الْقُرْآنِ السُّنَّةِ. He said, what breaks the fast is known in the Quran and Sunnah. And bukhur, if it goes down inside of the person's body to his stomach, bil-istinshaq, by doing that type of in-depth type of sniff, he said, for verily will what? If the person has knowledge that it's haram, then it will break what? Break the fast. As for if a person is ignorant, let's just say he's ignorant, he doesn't know. We just laid down the qawa'id. We laid down the principles. What did we say? إذا كان جاهل فيعذر. فهو معذور بجهله إذا كان لا يعلم الحكم. صحيح؟ جيد. What's the delay for a person who's ignorant of the time and the hukum? We just talked about that. Hadith Adi ibn Abi Hatim al-Bukhari, and also the hadith of Asma bint Abi Bakr radiyallahu anha. Right, everyone? The hadith which is al-Bukhari عن Asma bint Abi Bakr radiyallahu anhuma أن الناس أفطروا في يوم غيم على عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ثم طلعت الشمس ولم ينقل أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أمرهم بالقضاء، ولو كان القضاء واجبا لأمرهم به ونقل إلينا، لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يمكن أن يؤخر البلاغ عن وقت الحاجة إليه، وإذا بلغ فلا بد أن ينقل لأنه إذا بلغ صار من شريعة الله وشريعة الله محفوظة. He says the delay for that is similar to what happened to Asma bint Abi Bakr. He said that the people that they broke fast on a cloudy day during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and the sun came out. And it has not been conveyed or transmitted that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ commanded them to make it up. And he said, and if it was upon them to make it up, if it was wajib, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ would have commanded them to do that. And it would have been reported and transmitted to us. Is it clear? Because the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, he says there's no way that he will put off clarifying an affair, even though the need was what? The need was present for it to be clarified. For due to the case, then what? If that was the case, the affair, like we said, in which they had to make it up, then it would have been transmitted and reported to us. But at any rate, that's just delay to show what, everyone? That if a person is what? Ignorant. He's ignorant of the time and of the hukum, then he's what? He's excused. He's ma'dhur. He says, وَعَلَى هَذَا نَقُولُ لِهَذَا السَّائِلِ لَا تَسْتَنْشِقَ الْبُخُورِ. Do not sniff bukhur. Meaning don't, وَأَنْتَ صَائِمٌ. ولا تبخر ولا حرج. عفوا. ولكن تبخر ولا حرج. وإذا طار إلى أنفك شيء من الدخان من غير قصد فلا يضر. ونقول أيضا إذا كنت لا تدري أنه مفطر وكنت تستعمله من قبل أو تستنشق البخور حتى يصل إلى جوفك فلا شيء عليك. Upon this we say that the person that intentionally did that sniff of bukhur and they were fasting, he says, well, tabakhar wala haraj. He says, do that type of tabakhar. What we talked about, what we like that what they call the thing that you put the stuff on, you put the incense on? The actual machine that you put it on. I forgot the name of it in English. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, that little thing, and he said tabakhar, he says steam or burn that which you want to put on it, no problem. He says if it now flies to your nose and it was done unintentionally, if there's smoke, you didn't do it intentionally, then it will not harm you. And if you did not know that it breaks the fast and used to use it from before and used to sniff the bukhur, put it to your nose, sniff it like that, he said that it doesn't break your fast because you were jahil. You understand, everyone? طيب. I'm going to read this question quickly. Then we got to stop soon. Anyway, it was asked, Uthaymin, he was asked, هل استنشاق الطيب كالبخور أو كالبخور والعود يؤثر على الصائم يفسد صومه أم لا? Istinshaq, now sniffing طيب, oil, incense, or oud, does it affect one's fasting? Or does it invalidate it? طيب أما الأطياب التي ليس لها جرم يدخل إلى الأنف فهذه لا تفطر. As for those different types of oils, الأطياب, they call طيب or عطر, he says it doesn't have a jirm. What's the meaning of a jirm here? Meaning that it's something like a type of consistency that's thick, that has somewhat of a thickness. It's kind of thick. If it goes up to the nose, if it doesn't have that type of consistency, then it does not break fast. He says, as for bukhur, وأما البخور الذي له دخان يتصاعد فإنه إذا استنشقه الإنسان حتى وصل إلى جوفه فإنه يفطر بذلك. He says, as for bukhur, if he takes it and it goes to his nose and he sniffs it, like a deep sniff, yastanshik, and it goes to his insides, then it breaks his fast. He says, as for in contrast to oils, and he said it's kind of like a light scent. It's light. He says, al-atiyab as-sa'ila. It's like a liquid that a person smells only. And it doesn't have like a gin, like a real thickness, consistency to it, where it goes up to the insides. He says, وَأَمَّا مُجَرَّدَ التَّبَخُّرْ بِالْعُودِ فَهَذَا لَا بَأْسَ بِهِ. As for a person who wanted to put on that steam or that incense lighter, I think that's what they call it, incense lighter. The incense lighter, they want to put, instead of the incense, put some oud on it, they call it, then there's no problem with that. They want to put some oud on it, oud, instead of incense. They want to put oud on it, or they want to put oil on it, no problem. What about a person wearing oils while he's fasting during the month of Ramadan? Permissible or not? Jayyid, mumtaz. Permissible. Alhamdulillah, we already talked about that. What about, is it permissible to use henna? They call it, I think everyone knows what henna is, henna. Is it permissible to use henna upon woman's hair while she's fasting? Or the skin? وضع الحناء على الشعر. Does it break fast? تفطر؟ لا تفطر. لا تفطر الحناء. الحناء لا تفطر الصائم. This in regards to the women. I don't want to get too. ما حكم استخدام أدوات المكياج والكحل والطيب والسواك واستعمال الفرشاة والمعجون أثناء الصيام? This is a good question. What about in regards to using what do you call the makeup they put on a maquillage? Mascara? They call it mascara? Yeah, what they call maquillage. It's like makeup, mascara, whatever. He says that using mascara, using the tools, and kuhl, and oil, and siwak, and toothbrush, and toothpaste while one's fasting. Let's dissect each one. First of all, let's go bit by bit. Number one, as far as a woman using what? Makeup, does it break her fast? لا تفطر. ولكن المرأة تستخدمها داخل البيت لأجل تزيينها للزوج فقط. But however, a woman only uses it if she wants to decorate for her husband, of course. Outside the house, I've noticed that a lot. This is a new thing now, especially in Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia is a very strange city. You see good in a way and bad in a way. That's a different city, I tell you. It's just a difference is different. Anyway, you'll find that women, for example, they use makeup and they go outside like that, like we said. For verily, a woman, if she wants to use it in the house. And if she does go out there like that, she will have to make sure she is extremely covered. So, like what? So no man who's not her mahram sees her. But the point of why we mention this is to say, does it break her fast? La, it does not. What about kuhl? Cool. What about oil? Tib. What about siwak? La. Say it again. No. Siwak. No. What about the toothbrush? What about toothpaste? Ma'joon. If it enters the system, even though Ahl Ilm say, if he does, you have to be very careful to make sure that it does not what? Enter into your body. But if it does bring it. But you'll find Ahl Ilm say, if you can, to stay away from it, so you don't do not risk breaking your fast. But they don't say it's haram. They don't say that. But they say that you have to be very, very extremely careful. That's all. Oh, miswak is no problem. You can use that. Yeah, of course. So siwak, yeah, absolutely. Siwak, jaiz, isti'malu. طيب. What about a woman? She said that she was what? عن امرأة سئل فضيلة الشيخ عن امرأة كان معها قطعة بلاستيكية صغيرة. He says تنقش بها أسنانها فشرقت وبلعت هذه القطعة فهل تفطر بها. Listen to this. There was a woman that she had with her some type of piece of plastic that was small, and she was using it to kind of like carve her teeth or do something with her teeth. She choked on it and then she swallowed it. It's plastic. Does it break her fast? She was using some type of piece of plastic that was small in order to carve her teeth. Then she choked on it for sharaqat. She choked on it. Then she swallowed this piece of plastic. Did it break her fast? Ahsant. Due to the fact that she what? She did not do it. كان عن غير قصد بلعته عن غير قصد بالتالي هي معذورة يعني هي معذورة she's excused لأنها بلعتها عن غير قصد. جيد ممتاز. Like, what about a person that throws up in the month of Ramadan? What do we say? If he does it intentionally, then what? إذا تعمد فإنه يفطر. أما إذا كان عن غير قصد, if it's not intentional, then what? لا يفطر. إذا كان عن غير قصد. إذا كان عن غير قصد. وإذا كان عن قصد فإنه إيش؟ يفطر. Due to the hadith من ذرعه القيء, that's going to come in your books of بلوغ الأمراء. Listen here. فمن ذرع القيء فلا قضاء عليه ومن استقاء عمدا فليقضي. Whereas if it overtakes one, meaning he had no control over it, then he does not have to what? Make up the fast. But whoever intentionally does it, then he has to what? Make up the fast. جيد. ممتاز. طيب, now I'm gonna get into something I don't want everybody to laugh because it's something serious. What about a person that masturbates during the month of Ramadan? Is it upon him to what? إذا استمنى الصائم فهل تجب عليه الكفارة? If a person now that he what? Masturbates while he's fasting, is it upon him an expiation? No. You have to just make tawbah. An expiation is only done due to what? Intercourse. That's it. Intercourse. If intercourse is done, and that requires expiation. But however, we know masturbation what? Breaks your fast. If sperm comes out, then what? Breaks the fast. Sperm. جيد. طيب. إذا استمنى الصائم فأنزل أفطر ووجب عليه قضاء اليوم الذي استمنى فيه وليس عليه كفارة. طيب, the only time a person has to do expiation is due to what? Intercourse. Right, everyone? جيد. Last question will stop because it's almost time for the adhan. I think we've been going on long enough. Last question. This is a good question. What about a man who plays around with his wife? يسمى عن رجلا داعب زوجته وهو صائم فخرج منه مذي ليس مني مذي فما حكم صومه? About the man who played around with his wife while he was fasting until pre-seminal discharge came out. What is the ruling in regards to his fast? Huh? What do you say, Amir? Pre-seminal discharge, not sperm, not semen. Pre-seminal discharge. What do you say? Hey, matter of fact, that's not for you yet. Huh? طيب. Due to the fact, no doubt, first of all, the pre-seminal discharge doesn't break the fast. Doesn't. So keep that in mind. Due to the fact that this affair is from those matters that a lot of people, it's hard for them to escape from, especially young men. It's in their teens and 20s. How many of us, I'm sure we were all there when we were young, but all of us used to just get erections a lot, especially little boys in their teens and 20s. You can blow on them, khalas. You understand what I'm saying? Right or wrong? في أيام الشباب خلاص ينتصب بكل سهولة. صحيح؟ مع التفكير مجرد تفكير بدون أن ينظر إلى النساء. Person without just thinking. He doesn't even have to look at women. Strong shahwa. That's strong desire, of course. شهوة قوية في مرحلة الشباب. دون أن ينظر بس مجرد تفكير خلاص ينتصب. فيمضي. Will come as a result of it. And we know that just mere thinking. Strong person, especially a person's desires is at his peak, especially in his teens and his 20s, at his peak, strong. He didn't even have to look at women. He just think, khalas. And pre-seminal discharge would come out. What do we say his fast is invalid? لا يفسد صومه بالمذي ليس مني مذي. Pre-seminal discharge, not semen. You understand, everyone? Is it clear? And also some people we have, alhamdulillah, a person has an attractive wife in his house. Looks real attracted to him. Just looking at her, whoo. You understand? Looking at his wife, whoo. What is he going to do? You in the house with a woman that's physically attractive, what you going to do? You just look at her, even though you're not touching her. You look at her, and then you get an erection, and you have pre-seminal discharge come out. Still. Walau. There's a hadith that's going to come out. There's a hadith, excuse me, you got me. There's a hadith we're going to cover right now. If you look in this book, it's the next hadith. عن عائشة رضي الله عنها قالت كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقبل وهو صائم ويباشر وهو صائم ولكنه أملككم لإربه. حديث متفق عليه واللفظ مسلم. That's what we're going to talk about. That's just going to come. That's the next hadith. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to kiss his wife while he was fasting, and he used to fondle with her. Exactly. But we're going to talk about that inshallah. That's the explanation. You understand? However, we're going to get inside the explanation of this hadith. We're going to get to the sharh of it. That's if you feel you're going to what? If you're going to fall into something where you're going to ruin your fast, especially during the times in your young days in your youth where they're very strong, then not to avoid it is what? Is what's more better for the salama or the preservation of your religion. But if you feel that you can control yourself, even though you touch your wife or feeling your wife or what have you, then what? Then it's permissible for what? To do that. We'll talk about that inshallah. That's going to come. At any rate, the point we're trying to say and stress is what? Does pre-seminal discharge break the fast or not? No. It does not. It does not. Is it clear, everyone? Pre-seminal discharge does not break the fast. طيب, we'll stop here inshallah. نكتفي بهذا القدر. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت استغفرك وأتوب إليك.